Hockey Inside Out, presented to you by the Montreal Gazette.
Welcome to the HIO Show. I'm Stu Cowan of the Montreal Gazette, joined this week by Chris Nyland, Jack Todd, and Andy Bennett from CBC Daybreak. We're in a new location, as you can tell, at the Old Forum. We even have an audience with us today. Chris, you have memories of this spot and this place?
First of all, I want to know what they paid for their seats. And memories of this place, just a lot of great memories. You know, I think I had a fight right here.
Only one?
I scored down that end on a penalty shot. And I told Jean Perron to take a flying leap over there on the back.
I hit him with a puck here, I think, or something, too.
No,
That's
it wasn't here.
story.
That was in Verdun.
Okay. Jack, your memories of this building?
Well, my favorite game memory was actually when I bought a ticket to watch Larry Robinson pound Dave Schultz when the Flyers were riding high and the Canadiens were about to overtake them. My favorite non-game memory came with the Rocket here when I was sent down to do a feature on Rocket Richard when the building was closing in 1996. We talked for about an hour and a half, and then the photographer got him out at center ice to take a few shots. The Rocket was sitting in a chair at center ice, and the photog's setting up the lights and everything, and Rocket starts going wee and spinning the chair around and around this way, then around and around that way. He's like 76, 78 years old, and he's just having the time of his life in this chair at center ice at the Forum. I wish I had video of that.
No. Andy, us old guys have some memories of this place. You might be a little too young to...
I think it was kind of before my time. My dad may have brought me here to a game or two when I was like 14, 15. I probably have more memories of Moe's, which is, I'm kind of heartbroken about that going to be closing down, because more of my hockey memories are from sitting in there, you know, just talking about the game or after a game. So I don't really know. The Forum doesn't really hold that.
That's where I learned that Wayne Gretzky was supposedly a terrible tipper.
Oh, really?
I knocked the guy out in Moe's.
Shocking. That is shocking,
He was
Chris.
giving the missus a hard time who was working there, the owner, telling her to hurry up. He was drunk, he was loud. And then I got served my French fries and hamburger, and he reached over to grab my fries. I stood up and cracked them, knocked them. And his buddy went to jump me. His buddy went to jump me from behind when I had him down, and two Alouette players jumped on him and buried him. So,
for people not from Montreal, Moe's was a little place just down the corner from here, a little sort of greasy spoon breakfast spot that was real popular with it. It was the best. Now, Jeff Molson has to be a very happy man today. He paid $575 million for this franchise. It is now worth $1.18 billion.
Yes, and I'm pissed off at you.
Why is it?
Because you didn't come to me and say, we could buy this franchise. Gillette put up nothing, right? The Case bought it back in whatever year it was Gillette took over. $275 or something for the Habs and the building. They got the whole shot. The deal was cooked up between Gillette and Dan O'Neill at their ski chalet in Colorado. I've always thought it smelled to high heaven. But he got this whole thing for $275 million, which is a fraction of its worth today. And we could have bought the whole thing leveraged, you know?
Well, when you're talking about the finances, though, I mean, talk about burying the lead. The important part of that is that the Maple Leafs now knocked off as the highest earning NHL franchise, which, you know, you've been waiting for this to trickle down and really start hurting Toronto when it comes to money, as far as what they've been doing with that franchise the last few years. So finally now.
Well, the Habs $1.18 billion, the Leafs $1.15 billion, and the Rangers are number one at $1.2 billion. I'm wondering, the value of the Habs has gone up 18%, the Leafs went down 15%, Chris. I'm wondering if this is a case of Marc Bergevin building a franchise, Brendan Shanahan building a franchise. Well,
it certainly helps, and I think Bergevin, and Mr. Molson probably won't see this, but he deserves a big raise if he's one of the causes of this. Well, it's partly him, the success of the team, and also look at all that real estate around Evenko, that whole package. It's incredible what they've done here, and go Leafs, go.
But in Toronto, it's like they don't seem to. They hire young analytics guys, and then they hire Lou Lamoriello. It's like
they're going in 9 different directions at once. That's the one thing. Whether it's the right philosophy or not, and it appears to be the right philosophy. Since Molson hired Bergevin, it's all been. There's a unity of purpose there and a unity of vision. We know where we're going and we know how we're going to get there. They brought in a bunch of the Rick Dudley type people. You know, Bergevin's never been scared to surround himself with top level people who could, you know, in another organization be angling for his job. he's barely put a foot wrong here, and to me, he's a big part of the reason. Gillette actually set this franchise on the right footing from a business aspect, which Molson has just continued. Now I think it's the solidest franchise in the sport.
And the team's never been more popular. I mean, it's crazy now. They're talking about the price of tickets here, the price of tickets at the Bell Center. You know, they raised the tickets 24% in the Upper Bowl, and they're still selling out.
Well, when you have a team that you can be proud of consistently over the years, I mean, I know a lot of people complain about the fact that, like, oh, it's just make the playoffs. That shouldn't be the mentality here in Montreal. But the fact of the matter is, you're putting a competitive team on the ice year after year after year. People want to get on board with it.
Yeah. Now, Elliot Friedman made a good point. He said that Price has 2 more years in his contract. Pacioretty has 3. I don't know if they're going to be able to re-sign both of them. Is this the time to go for it? Is this the time you go all in?
Listen, you just talked about Bergevin and the job he's done. There's a vision, Jack said, and there is. He's got to stick to that plan. You know, I don't know if the plan calls for, let's make a big trade and get this one player. He knows what he has here right now. He's gradually built this. He's going to continue to build it. He's going to have a good farm team. He's made strides down there on the farm. Now he can bring players up. We've seen 2 guys come up this past week. So he got that vision. He's going forward. Yeah, you want to go for it. I get all that. But, you know, you have to be careful in the sense that you don't want to mortgage the future for today. I think they have a good competitive team that right now, maybe without that one winger everybody wants, can still compete for a Stanley Cup.
But Chris, do you not want to take advantage of having the best goalie in the world right now in Carey Price?
Sure,
I mean,
you
want to be trying to win the Cup while he's in his prime.
It doesn't necessarily mean if you go out and get this player. People don't understand it takes so much to get a player and the price you have to pay. If people are willing to get rid of a core player in a first-round pick, go right ahead. And then you'll see what happens down the road.
We'll be right back after a short break, and we'll talk about Brendan Gallagher's fractured left hand. Welcome back, everybody. Just to pick up a little where we left off, Jack, is this the year to Habs go all in?
Well, I think they do, but, you know, with Bergevin, it's not going to be done by making some kind of panicky trade to get one part, which may or may not help. You know, you bring in these, everybody wants that big sniper. You know, I saw somebody writing the other day, you know, you got a package to Nordy with somebody like Sherbak in order to bring in your sniper. Well, who's a sniper these days anyway?
And it hasn't been working that well in
Pittsburgh. And it hasn't been working. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, you know, you can look, the league is strewn with snipers who aren't scoring. Just keep it together. Keep doing what you're doing. You don't have to tell Bergevin that. He's the last guy on earth who's going to panic and make a foolish trade right now. But yes, I think this is the window, the next 2-3 years with Price at his peak, Pacioretty, etc.
Now, Andy, with Brendan Gallagher out 6 weeks, 2 fractured fingers on his left hand, you're going to miss him.
I mean, that just broke my heart seeing that. And I think everybody had that sick feeling when you saw him block that shot from Johnny Boychuk that he was immediately something was wrong. He was in major pain. And if you looked closely, you could see the finger in trouble. But yeah, that hurts me. He's one of my favorite players to watch. He's so entertaining. I love the fact that he really gets under the skin of opponents. And I think he brings an element. I mean, look, he plays on the top line. He's obviously a quality hockey player. He's a great vision. But he brings this element, this intangible irritation element to the game that's irreplaceable. I mean, there isn't a guy that does what he does. So I think that we're going to be missing that.
And he tweeted that picture of him with his mom coming into town.
Yeah, I mean, as if you couldn't love Gallagher anymore, he goes and tweets a picture of him with his mom, you know, while he's at the hospital. It's just...
You stole my word, though, irreplaceable. To me, he's one of the most irreplaceable players in the league because he's unique. Well, who else is a 5'8" power forward who drives people nuts in the crease? I've never seen a game like his.
With a smile
Chris
on his
would know
face.
better than me. Yeah, while he's smiling while he's doing it.
He never takes a night off. That's the thing.
Yes.
Or a shift, even.
Very rarely does he have a bad game.
Now, could this injury hurt them more than losing Carey Price?
You know, listen, they're going to miss him, but again, I think this team has a depth where they can plug a guy in and they'll do okay. They're getting, if it was last year and it had such an effect on the scoring line, and Plekanec and Pacioretty, then I'd say, ooh, I'd be more worried. But now the scoring depth with the Day-on-A line, the way this team has played, in this season. I'm not as worried about it, to be honest with you.
Now, the blocking the shot, I mean, some people are wondering what Gallagher's doing out there blocking a shot. I don't think you can take blocking the shots out of the game, though, Jack.
No, I don't think you can take it out of the game. You might try to get him to do it a different way than kind of crouching in front of the... Yeah, that wasn't a good idea for that particular shot. I've been saying for a while, I would like to see the league outlaw leaving your feet to block a shot. Like, no sliding to block the shots. You're trying to get more scoring. A. B, it's a very dangerous thing. Once you're off your feet and you're sliding, you have no control over your body, and you're putting your face, neck, all that in front of the shot. I would like to see that outlawed, but it's never going to go away.
I hate all those suggestions of having to outlaw. I mean, it's instinctual. The game is so fast. Things are happening so fast down there. And I just hate the idea of that you want these players to be thinking, oh, don't do this when you block a shot. Like, they're playing the game. They're doing what they have to do to
Here's
their
the deal with that. You know, back in our day, the goalies were less protected, okay, had less equipment, and we were told to get out of the way and let them see the shot. If there's a time you should get out of the way and let goalies see the shot, it's today. They have more equipment, you can't see any net. You know, I understand, blocking the shot. Actually, no, I don't, because I never blocked one. I hated blocking.
Chris is out of there.
You couldn't get me in front of a shot. Get me in front of a big fist any day, but not the shots.
Whose shot scared you the most when you played?
Gaston Gingras. He was on my team.
But do you think they even have a chance sometimes? I mean, the game is so fast now.
It's a reactionary thing.
What are you going to do?
You know, you can stay on your feet, you can go down. It depends what you think is the best. And, you know, it's a tough break for the team. But, again, it's not something I'll stay on my feet. If you're in a position you think you can get there and you have to go down, it's unfortunate, but you're required to block shots today.
Dale Weiss made a good point, and Gallagher got sort of caught deep in his zone and came out, which made him a little bit more vulnerable. Now, Devontae Smith-Pelly is taking his spot on the number one line on right wing. Is this the right guy for that spot?
Yeah, what I would have loved to have seen now is, once and for all, let's find out what the deal is with Alexander Semin. He's been discredited, given up on all these other things. He hasn't been going well. I don't think Galchenyuk has been the right sentiment for him, but you don't really know. You put him on that top line for a couple of weeks, tell him you're staying out there, even if you take a knucklehead penalty. You're going to get a full look at this guy, because somebody was saying, well, he can't do this, he can't do that. Well, one thing I know about DSP, he's not going to give you 40, 38, 34 goals, all these things that Semin put up year after year after year in this league. Maybe he's too slow now. I don't think we really know.
But here's what I like about the Devontae Smith-Pelly choice. You put Semin on that line. You're putting him up against the top lines on the other team. So you're giving another chance to expose him and some of his weaknesses that we've seen at the beginning of the year. Smith-Pelly did everything they asked him to do in the offseason. They wanted him to work on his skating. They wanted him to drop a little bit of weight. They wanted him to get faster. He did all that. So I love the fact that he's getting a chance now to play on one of the top lines, and he brings a little bit of grit. And no, he's not going to be your 40-goal scorer, but that's why he has Pacioretty and Plekanec on that line. So I like the selection.
I'm wondering at some point if we see Sven Andrighetto on that line. He impressed me, his call-up. He's quick, skilled.
Listen, the coach is going to start with that right there. By the end of the game, Semin could be there, Andrighetto could be there. We don't know. He's going to see what works for a little bit. Just because Semin didn't get there right away, he might end up there. We'll see. And again, I think we get too wrapped up in who's playing with who. Get out there and play. Have some jam.
I don't know if you call it jam, but Alex Galchenyuk finally scored his first goal at home this season. Did a sort of Ovechkin celebration jumping into the glass. I'm wondering if this might be a turning point for him to get some confidence going forward.
I hope so, because I have to say he's been a little disappointing, given how well the whole team has been going. I know they keep on this audition going. He's up to his 7th right wing now, but a bit of the responsibility for that has to be on the line center. It was Galchenyuk. Mm-hmm. I hope it fires him up, because this next 2 or 3 years are the critical juncture with him. Is he really a number 3 overall pick, or was he not?
I mean, at that point, I was just getting happy if Galchenyuk hit the net. I mean, he missed the net so many times. So I think it was great, and he is getting those chances and those opportunities, but a lot of the times he's not even on target. So I would love to see him getting more chances and burying them.
For a guy like Andrighetto, coming up from the minors, getting only 10 minutes of ice time, you probably that's got to be tough.
Well, tough or not, you get ice time, and you better do the best you can with that ice time, and not whine about it. Just go play. 10 minutes or not. You're not going to get me on that one. I have no empathy or sympathy because the guy's only getting 10 minutes. Go out there and do your job. And if you don't, you'll be back in the minors.
Go all out just the way you used to do right here, right, Chris?
Right here,
That's
baby.
it. That's it for this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for everybody who showed up to watch the taping of it, and we'll see you all again next week.